Welcome to the Top Secret Wedding Podcast. Our top secret tip for today is hydrate, pack a snack, and bring a jacket.
So important.
So important.
Want to learn how to have a great 2023 wedding season? Listen to today's episode. This is the Top Secret Wedding Podcast, where we share top secret tips to help you take your wedding game to the next level.
I'm Annika, and I'm a wedding coordinator, enthusiast, and venue manager for one of the best venues in Idaho.
I'm Chris, and I'm a DJ, master of ceremonies, and all-around lover of weddings.
We're on a mission to improve weddings and wedding professionals everywhere.
All right. We are so excited to talk with you guys today. Today we're talking about wedding season. It's starting up. The sun is out. I don't know about all of y'all, but I got toasted this past week.
I'm really excited for the sun to come out.
I'm excited too. Just remember your sunscreen. It's important.
We didn't include that in our list, but maybe that should be number one.
Yeah, wear sunblock. But yeah, we're excited. Wedding season's starting up. It's May 2nd that we're recording this. I know some of you guys listening have already had some of your first weddings. I know mine's coming up in a couple of weeks here.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about 6 tips to have a successful wedding season.
Yeah. And we've got some bonus tips under each, not every tip, but some of these.
Yeah. So with that, let's get started. Do you want to start us off?
Number 1, look for ways to build others. It's really important that we go back and listen to our community over competition episode. But it's really important to have that community because on wedding day, you're all a team to accomplish these goals. And if you're just an island to yourself, then it's not going to go very well. So look for ways to build others in the industry, and I guess your couples and guests and all of that too.
Well, and I think too, we mentioned this a little bit earlier in a different episode, but these other vendors you're working with, they're basically your coworkers, and we're at the start of wedding season, and almost all of them you're going to see a couple times, if not pretty frequently throughout the season.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And I feel like I have genuine friends because
I do too. Yeah. I go through the details meetings with my brides, and they're like, oh, we've got this person and this person. I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to be a
team.
party. So look for ways to build everybody up.
Yeah. Bonus tip on that is to, when you're going through after the wedding, tag every vendor that you possibly can.
Yes.
I shouldn't, but sometimes I get offended when every vendor is tagged except for the DJ. I'm like, but I was there.
Right.
So make sure that you're tagging people, because the only thing that it will do is make you look good, and it will make the other vendors want to work with you.
Yeah.
It's not going to take away from what you're doing in the least, unless they're a very bad vendor, then I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, even I feel like a vendor that gets forgotten about a lot is hair and makeup. But they are there at the beginning of getting ready. And I've talked to so many, and if they get tagged in the later stories of the wedding, it just makes their day, and they can actually showcase their work instead of just here's a picture of the bride in the chair.
We need to do an episode on branding throughout the wedding day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
We'll make a note.
Okay.
Number 2.
Number 2 is keep track of what is taking up your time and optimize.
This is so important because sometimes you'll find yourself, at least for me, I find myself avoiding certain tasks because they take so long. They take so much of my energy. But if you're able to track those things down, oh, this is taking forever.
Yeah.
How do I optimize that? How do I make that a better process for myself? You'll be more profitable. And
I think too, so one of my good friends, she told me this quote, and it has stuck with me, but I don't even know if people know it. It's probably something that I just didn't even know about.
Yeah.
But eat the frog. Whatever you don't like, take care of it first, or else that's just going to be what you're dreading all day. And so instead of dreading and pushing it off and being like, oh, I still have to do this. If you quote unquote eat the frog, I don't know why it's called that. But if you do that, then you just set the rest of your day up for success and you've already done the hardest thing.
That's true.
So
I've heard it is eat the broccoli.
Eat the broccoli.
Eat the broccoli.
I don't know where the frog comes from. Yeah. She told me that and I was like, I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I like that. And I think, as a side note to that, remember that motivation comes after you put in the work.
Yes.
It's rarely the other way around.
For sure.
Like, start working and you'll get motivated, especially if it's the hard thing. Just get to it. So.
Yep. Yeah. I think too with, keeping track of what takes up your time, it's so important to, how do I phrase this? I guess not be afraid to delegate. If there is something that is taking up so much of your time and it shouldn't be your first priority, it's so easy for me to, sorting linens takes forever.
Okay. Yeah.
They're big. You have to find the tag and sort them and they get heavy and it takes forever. And a lot of times it's so easy for me to get distracted by the little tasks that takes up my time and takes away my attention from what really needs my attention.
Yeah.
And so don't be afraid to delegate and say, hey, so-and-so, can you sort these linens?
Yeah.
You also have to be so careful with asking. And like if you are delegating something, let's say you're delegating to a staff member.
Right.
If you say, can you, that gives them an opportunity to say no. And so you want to be so polite, but also not give them necessarily an option. Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Number 3, this one is a little bit different, but save money from every wedding so that you can grow your business. Save money from every single wedding. Just put a little bit aside, make it a set amount, just 5%, 10%, whatever you can afford. And if you can't, then increase your prices. And if you don't feel like you can increase your prices, find a way to add value so you can increase your prices and so you can save. This is a difficult thing to do, but it's really, really important because sometimes, especially when you're first starting out, it's easy to just feel like you're in the weeds and you can't grow at all. And if you just put 5% of your income aside to be able to do that, you'll be surprised after 4 months how much you have that you're like,
yeah,
this money is strictly for growing the business or getting new gear or whatever. And it's kind of an empowering moment when you realize that you've got this money to spend. So.
Yeah. And I mean, I could talk forever on raising your prices. I'm so passionate about that. But I think the one thing I want to mention in this episode is it's so easy to get money blind and be like, oh, that costs so much money, I wouldn't spend that. But you don't know who would spend that. There are times that I quote prices and I'm like, hey, let's just go crazy. And maybe that's nothing to them, And so I'll say, hey, if you want me for all of this or whatever, I don't know, let's say $3,000. And in my mind, I'm like, holy cow, that's a lot of money. Yeah. And then they're like, that's a great price. Like, you just never know. So don't cut yourself short.
Yeah, the way I've heard it put is don't sell with your own wallet.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. So
that's number 3. Save money from every wedding to grow your business. Read Profit First. If you haven't read that, have you read that?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
I have a long list of books I need to read.
Especially for a solopreneur, it's a really, really good way to get you started with simple accounting. Most solo entrepreneurs do not do accounting.
Yeah.
They just kind of hope for the best. This was the best way for me to get into it because I'm not a numbers guy, and this really helped me
I've heard incredible things about the book.
Yeah, it's a simple concept.
Yeah,
do it.
Awesome.
Number 4,
value yourself and offer less discounts. This kind of goes with the whole don't sell with your wallet, but value yourself and don't offer as many discounts.
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult. Again, when you're starting business, you want to just get all the business that you can. So you're like, I'll give you $100 off if you go with me. But if you do that, you're instantly showing your customers that you are less valuable than what you're asking for.
Yes.
And clients see that and they'll treat you as such. So if you are not offering discounts, then it's valid. The other thing that it does when you offer discounts is it says to the other clients that didn't get a discount, it's kind of a slap them in the face.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's only fair to do that. The one caveat I'd say is maybe if it's like a month before and you have an open date, then there's the trade-off because that person could be panicking and they put in the risk by not hiring somebody earlier.
Yes.
So that's maybe the one caveat. But
Yeah.
even then, I don't like to do it because your time is maybe even more valuable at that point.
Yeah.
So.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
So.
Along with valuing yourself, it's really important to invest in yourself. It's so easy for people who use gear to invest in more gear, get a new camera, get a new microphone. But probably the best thing that you can do is investing in yourself, whether that's, going to a conference, whether that's getting an ebook, take time and money and put it into yourself. Because I feel like I'm using the word empower a lot in this episode, but it really empowers you more than a new piece of gear it will, because anybody can buy that gear, but not anybody can be you.
Yes.
So you need to invest in you.
Agreed. Completely.
You're good enough.
You are good enough. Okay, number 5.
Review each job and look for ways to improve. Pretty simple one, but if you're not improving, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. I think that's the thing is, if anybody knows me, they know I hate when someone gets complacent. I hate complacency.
Yeah.
I always have a pep talk with my team. Like, all right, guys, we're not going to get complacent, And if you are not reviewing after every single job, it's so easy to slip into being complacent. Or you start making excuses and you're like, well, this happened, but whatever. Like, just don't make the excuse, review, look for how to do better, and always achieve to go beyond.
Yeah. And the other thing with reviewing every job is you're going to see things that you did well, so you can repeat success.
Yes.
And you're going to see things that you did not so well and avoid failures. So it's essential.
It's so essential. Okay, number 6, final one.
Final one.
Give yourself a day off. Plan a vacation.
Yep.
It's, again, we've talked about this with work-life balance, I think, but it's so important to set yourself up for success, and you have to recoup. So plan a vacation, take a day off. It's okay.
Yeah, and you can only push yourself so far. Make sure you're investing in your body too.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So those are 6 top tips. It's a pretty quick episode today, but all these things are really important. And if you have other tips, please share them with us.
Yes.
You can leave them in the comments, or I think you can leave a message on Spotify. There's a way to do that. So yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
so
cool.
Please let us know. I'd love to hear other tips. And if we get enough tips, then maybe we'll do another episode. But, good luck in your wedding seasons. Go kill it. Go just blow your customers away. There's no better feeling than that. I'm excited for this wedding season.
Me too. It's going to be a good one.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Top Secret Wedding Podcast.
Subscribe, rate, and review us, and we'll see you next time.